Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. Trained by the League of Assassins all his life, Damian has joined his father's side in the war against crime by becoming the fifth Robin. Damian was the most recent Robin. He struggled with his more lethal tendencies, which clashed with his father's strict rule against killing. He killed the villain Nobody and also defeated one of the Talons attacking Gotham City during Night of the Owls. Recently, he also fought all of the past Robins, Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, and Tim Drake, to show that he was the best one between them. However, they helped each other to fight the villain Terminus, who wanted to kill Batman and then destroy Gotham City before he passed away. It was also revealed in issue 13 of Batman and Robin that Damian's mother, Talia, put a bounty of $500 million for her son's head. Because of that, he needs to remain silent and not act as Robin. But, as always, he disobeys Bruce and leaves home as the hooded hero, and at the end of that issue, he gets attacked by an army of zombies. The zombies take Robin to Gotham's underground. There, the boy finds out that they are led by the Saturn Club, and that there are many alive people who were previously kidnapped by a secret organization. Damian takes the horrified citizens to a train. Unfortunately, the zombies follow them. When there seems to be no hope left, Batman arrives at the train, and together, the father and son fight off the horde. With the recent release of the new Batman Incorporated series, Robin has been killed at the hand of the League of Assassins, and so Damian has now taken on the new identity of Redbird. This, however, only appears to be running through the Incorporated storyline, and it has yet to be mentioned as part of the new 52 universe. Batman fired Damian in the Batman Incorporated series because Talia wanted her son back and was using her army as a game of chess to get to Batman's son. In the 8th issue of Grant Morrison's run on Batman Incorporated, Damian Wayne was killed by the hands of his clone, the Heretic, leading his father to go further and further off his hinges. Batman is right now working in a way to bring back his son to life. Damian Wayne is the biological son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. This thus makes him the grandson of one of Batman's greatest villains, Ra's al Ghul. Talia would become pregnant with him after a sexual encounter with Bruce, but would keep their son's existence from him for a decade. Instead of being birthed naturally, Damian was grown in a lab, with the intention that he would surpass his father. Shortly after his birth, Talia would leave Damian in the care of the League of Assassins so he could begin his training as an assassin. Years later, Talia revealed Damian's existence to his father and leaves him in Batman's custody in an effort to disrupt his work and get a step closer to her evil plan. Instead of shunning the boy, Bruce acknowledged his duties as a father and accepted him into the Batman family, which would eventually lead Damian to becoming the 5th and current Robin, after the supposed death of Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson taking over the cape and cowl. Damian Wayne was created by writer Grant Morrison and artist Andy Kubert during the Batman and Son story arc in 2006 within the pages of Batman. This, however, was not the first technical appearance of Damian, as he was inspired by the events of Batman Son of the Demon in 1987, where Batman and Talia had their encounter that led to the conception of a nameless son. Up until Infinite Crisis, Son of the Demon was considered out of continuity, until it was brought back by Grant Morrison when he took over Batman. There are slight differences in Morrison's interpretation of the events, as he has Bruce claim that he was drugged and eventually raped by Talia, where in Son of the Demon their encounter was consensual. When Damian was first introduced to readers, he was a rash, arrogant, and violent character, similar to Jason Todd when he was Robin. Among the worst of his personality traits, Damian did not stick to the Batman family's no-killing rule, as his interpretation of crime fighting involved decapitating the spook. Damian also exhibited anger issues and jealousy problems towards the then Robin, Tim Drake. Damian saw Tim as his rival, since Bruce had just recently adopted him as his son. Damian felt that based off his parentage, the role of Robin was naturally intended for him and him alone, which led him to attack Tim in an attempt to take the mantle of Robin. Damian has even cursed at Alfred throwing a silver plate at him. Despite his myriad of issues, Damian would be appointed the mantle of Robin after Dick Grayson became Batman. Dick felt that it was his duty to train Damian and help him control his emotions. Under Dick's guidance, Damian would become a successful crime fighter, worthy of the mantle of Robin, and the two would become close friends. With the implementation of the DC Universe in September 2011, Damian remained in the Robin role, but Dick Grayson would return to being Nightwing. Damian is set to join side by side with his father in a new father-son iteration of the dynamic duo. Batman and Son. Originally, Damian appeared as an unnamed infant in the Son of the Demon story, which was left out of continuity due to being quite unpopular. He was then reintroduced into the Batman family during Batman and Son. It was Talia's intention that Damian would be left under Bruce's care and end up sabotaging his operations, while she planned to take over England with her army of Man-Bat ninjas. Whilst under Bruce's care, Damian was angry, abrasive, and violent. He would kill the Spook in an attempt to prove his crime-fighting worth, and would attempt to kill Tim Drake in order to usurp the role of Robin and get rid of Bruce's adopted son. Trying to repent for his actions, Damian offers up his mother's location to his father, and accompanies him to thwart Talia's plans. Following these events, Damian returned to his mother, and remained largely absent from the Batman family, with the exception of a supporting role within the crossover The Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul. Damian would return to the Batman family after the events of Batman R.I.P. and Final Crisis, where his father apparently died at the hands of the evil god Darkseid. Feeling that it was his duty to make sure Damian stayed on the right path, Dick Grayson took Damian under his wing as Robin, and the two would become the new dynamic duo. Early in Damian's career, he and Dick Grayson came across Jason Todd, operating as the Red Hood, with Todd trying to replace the dynamic duo. El Penitente, Dr. Hurt, sends the murderous psychopath Flamingo to Gotham to intervene. The confrontation leads to Damian being shot in the spine several times, needing his mother's medical care to replace his spine. During his time recovering from his injuries, he and Alfred fend off the Batman clone that Dick dipped in the Lazarus pit, thinking it was Bruce. Now knowing Bruce wasn't actually dead, both Dick and Damian soon find out that he is misplaced in time. While investigating Wayne Manor during the events of Batman vs. Robin, Damian's body was taken control of by Deathstroke, thanks to an implant in his spine planted there by his mother. With Dick eventually breaking Talia's control over her son, Damian was disgusted by the fact that his mother would do such a thing. During a confrontation with her, Damian officially renounced his maternal heritage, claiming he wished to be a worthy enemy to the House of Al Ghul before returning to Gotham. In Gotham, all hell soon broke loose as Dr. Hurt returned, claiming to be Damian's grandfather, Thomas Wayne. Meanwhile, the Joker had also returned and remained under the custody of the GCPD. Damian manages to lock himself into an interrogation room with the Joker and mercilessly beat him with a crowbar, the very same way the Joker did to Jason Todd. But the Joker manages to trick Damian, scratching him with his poison-laced fingernails. Joker, who also wanted to go after Dr. Hurt, kept Damian tied up until, as he felt it was necessary, to use Damian as his ace up his sleeve. Damian manages to make his way to Wayne Manor, where he meets up with Dick and eventually Bruce. The trio would successfully defeat Dr. Hurt and bring order back to Gotham, with Damian saving Gotham by disarming a thermonuclear bomb. With Bruce back in the picture, both Damian and Dick were uncertain about their roles in the future of the Batman family. After going on a mission with Damian, Bruce determined that he would not be able to work with his son as Batman and Robin. But with the introduction of Batman Incorporated, Bruce decides that Damian should remain Robin, with Dick Grayson as Batman in Gotham City. Since then, Damian has teamed up with other members of the Batman family, and under Dick's encouragement, joined the Teen Titans. In the Gates of Gotham storyline, Damian, along with Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Cassandra Cain, must face the threat of the Architect, a mad bomber with ties to Gotham's past. As with the first time he meets anyone, Damian shows animosity towards Cassandra, but eventually is able to work with her, as the two prevent Gotham's Kane's Memorial Bridge from being destroyed. In Batman Incorporated, while Damian remains absent from his father's quest against Leviathan for a majority of the time, he, along with Dick and Tim, have to go after Bruce, who has been drugged and caught in Dr. Daedalus's web. Damian finds his father just in the nick of time, before Daedalus electrocutes him to death. With no other options, Damian is forced to make a difficult decision, and throws Daedalus's discarded blade towards the mad scientist, impaling him in the head, killing him instantly. Immediately distraught, Damian pleads with his father that it was his only choice, as Daedalus was seconds away from killing him. Bruce doesn't acknowledge it at the time, as he knows the ordeal isn't over, as he knows Daedalus wasn't the true leader of Leviathan. Moments later, on a phone call, it's revealed that Damian's mother, Talia al Ghul, was the head of Leviathan the entire time, who had been seeking retribution for the events of Batman and Son. Talia informs Bruce that she's placed a $500 million bounty on their child's head, forcing Bruce to keep him close to protect him during the upcoming ordeal. With Dick Grayson returning to Nightwing soon after that, and Bruce returning to Gotham, Damian soon becomes Robin under his father's watchful eye. Damian's tenure as Robin under the direction of his father starts out very roughly. Since it's the first time the two have actually worked together as Batman and Robin, they both struggle to understand each other. Bruce feels that he needs to fix or save Damian from his violent tendencies he learned whilst training with the League of Assassins, while not realizing just how far Damian has come, and how much of an effort he's made to work past all that. He attempts to build a relationship with his son, even though he remains cold and distant with his other allies. Meanwhile, Damian feels as if his father simply doesn't trust him, yet doesn't adapt to the way his father operates out in the field. All of these issues begin to frustrate Damian, who tries to repress his emotions, leading him to begin to lash out violently. This all comes to a head when Nobody, son of Henri Ducard, one of the men who trained Bruce, appears in Gotham and tries to tempt Damian into giving in to his violent nature as a devil on the young Robin's shoulder. With the relationship with his father strained and Bruce keeping secrets about Nobody from him, Damian abandons his father to train under Nobody. Damian is put through a test by Nobody to gauge his loyalty that ends in Nobody asking Damian to shoot and kill a corrupt ambassador. Damian pulls the trigger, but the gun doesn't fire, as Nobody simply wanted Damian to prove he's willing to abandon his father's no-kill rule. Damian humors Nobody on for a short time thereafter, but eventually alerts his father to their position, to Nobody's disarray. Damian points out that he knew by the weight of the gun that it was never loaded, and despite their problems, he'd never betray Bruce, simply for the fact that he is his father. Nobody begins to badly injure Damian, having Bruce listen through their communicator. Bruce locks in on their position, then once he shows up, enters into a very brutal and personal fight with Nobody. Driven by his anger, Bruce eventually throws Nobody into his vat of acid with the intent to kill him for what he had done. But when he looks at Damian, he comes back to his senses, pulling Nobody out before he dies, then chaining him up for the police. Whilst Bruce tries to clear rubble to leave, Nobody begins to speak to Damian, telling them not to disappoint him and that he'd be back to kill them both. Bruce turns around to see Damian executing the temporary paralysis technique Nobody taught him. But instead of simply hitting a certain spot on Nobody's forehead, Damian's fingers penetrate his skull, killing him instantly. Instead of growing angry, Bruce reacts with compassion. When Damian gets out of the hospital, they talk about how difficult it is to adjust from the life of an assassin. Despite their differences, they play with Titus and enjoy spending more time together as father and son. During the Night of the Owls, Damian tried to save some soldiers from one of the Talons. The Talon proved impervious to gunfire from the Shoal soldiers, killing all of them. Damian manages to shoot his grappling wire and hook into the Talon's skull through its eye, proceeding to hang the Talon on a tree and decapitate it. Only the general of the unit survived the ordeal. All his soldiers were killed by the Talon. In the following Batman and Robin arc, War of the Robins, Damian swore to defeat all the other Robins. The first was Tim Drake, who he managed to defeat with mind games. Damian told Tim they were more alike than he realized, and that he saw a similar killer instinct in him when they faced Harvest with the Teen Titans. The next Robin he fought was Jason Todd, who was defeated partially due to being heavily fatigued at the time, an advantage Damian had no problem exploiting. After the fight-off with Jason, Damian left and took Todd's Red Hood helmet as a gift for himself. Batman and Robin and all the other past Robins came to help in a battle with a villain, and they defeated him in battle. Nightwing offers Damian an Ksmr stick as a trophy, telling him that he doesn't have to prove that he is the best Robin, because he's already wearing the R on his chest. After telling him he knows what he did to Tim and Jason when he visited them, after the fight-off, the past Robins go home. Damian was in his room reading about the Joker's return to Gotham City. Bruce Wayne wakes his son up from his sleep and tells him to get dressed and that they are going to see the solar eclipse in space on the Batplane. Back on Earth in the Gotham City cemetery, the graves had been open and some bodies were taken out of their graves, and part of it was the Joker's return to Gotham City. Batman and Robin investigate the area and find what is happening to cause this event. The downtown part of Gotham City was all covered in zombies, and Batman and Robin are left fighting them. Batman tells his son Damian to go back to the cave, and that he can take care of all of them. Robin goes into the sewers, fights off a giant frog, comes up to the surface, and is trapped by zombies, who want to eat him. They run towards him. Damian is left fighting for his life. Batman and Robin then fight off the zombie army that was feeding Gotham City's downtown city. As Robin saved half of the people that were not infected, Batman told him to go back to the cave. Robin did not go back and disobeyed his order, saving all the people from the zombie cult's plans, and he finds out that it was part of the Joker's return to wage war on the Batman family. Batman got hold of the Joker's teeth, and it had an eye in it. It was spying on Batman and Robin, and their plans of attack in the camera of the teeth. Batman and Robin went back home to the Batcave and talked about what happened. Damian told his father about what he was doing in the sewers. He found a pearl that was part of Bruce Wayne's mother's pearl necklace, the one she was wearing the night Bruce Wayne's parents were killed. It was a sign that Damian did care, which resulted in Bruce telling Damian he was proud of him, and the two hug for the first time. After the Bat family get together and plan how to defeat the Joker, Batman left to find him and Alfred. Damian went to the crime scene in Wayne Manor and found out it was at the Gotham Zoo. Damian saw the Joker and was captured by him. He then saw Batman under the Joker's laughing gas, and now Damian will have to fight his father in a battle to get rid of the Joker's gas in his body. Damian manages to fight off the Batman, after a long battle with Batman under the Joker's control, and Damian telling Batman to fight off the gas. But the Joker gassed Batman and Robin at the Gotham Zoo and took their masks off. Later, the Joker and Damian were walking in the dark together, and Damian was telling the Joker what he is doing, and the Joker shows Damian that he had a dinner tray of something revolting to see. Damian is currently under the Joker's mind control to join him and the rest of the Bat family to a dinner party that Joker is planning. Batman manages to free the Bat family. He gives his son a hug and asks if he was all right from the Joker's kidnapping plans. After Bruce Wayne chases and defeats the Joker, and the Bat family are busy with other things going on, Bruce Wayne checks in on Alfred, Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Batgirl. Tries to get hold of Jason Todd, but he was at a bar drinking and recovering from the events that happened. They were all texted by Bruce, but they cell phoned back that they were busy with other things that popped up at the last minute. Bruce thinks he will go down and see his son Damian, but he was away in downtown Gotham City at the Wayne complex training in the gym. He leaves a note. Don't wait up for me. In the new Batman Incorporated volume, his mother Talia has put a price on his head. During the first encounter with some of the headhunters, Damian saves a cow, which he names Bat Cow. Damian is ultimately shot in the confrontation, but survives. It is decided that Damian should use his apparent death as a chance to hide out while the others in the Bat family attempt to resolve the issue of the price on his head. Damian refuses the idea of hiding in the Batcave and creates a new identity, Redbird, to continue his vigilante duties. In issue 0, Damian, as Robin, now 11 years old, was helping his father in Russia to carry criminals in the cold back to Moscow with a Russian Batman. Damian said to his father that he cannot feel his body from the cold, but his father says they were halfway there to the Batplane, and they needed to drop off the criminals at the police station. Damian, as Redbird, helped out another version like Batman to fight his mother's battle army off. Damian's father found out where he was and helped him fight off the League of Assassins' army, and Batman told Talia that it's over. Talia wants her son back, and it was all a game of chess to get her from Batman. Talia tells Batman that one of them was a spy as a hero, and it was Jason Todd as Wingman. Batwing helps Batman and the family fight off Talia's army. He then tells Damian that she wants him back, and that this war will be over. Batman is grieved that his son has to go back to his mother. He tells his son to leave because the League of Assassins were going to hunt down his son, and Damian did not know this until he left the group under his mother's orders. Damian will be seen again as Batman in 666 about the end of the World War fight battle. After Batman fired his son Robin, he tells him that something bad is going to happen. We see Damian as Batman fighting off a battle of the Joker's gas that turns people into animals as villains at Arkham Asylum. After Batman's death, the people welcome a new Batman, that's Damian. The people of Gotham City said, "Long live the new Batman," after saving children at a bridge and bringing them to the safety zone. Batman knew there was something wrong about to happen. The Joker's gas took over and attacked the people of Gotham City. Batman went to rescue Barbara Gordon, but she was gassed by the Joker's gas. Batman fought off the guards at Arkham Mental Hospital and got Commissioner Gordon out of there. But she shot Batman, and the people of Gotham, who were infected, killed her. Batman releases all the criminals to a last battle to fight off the Joker's gas, but it was too late. A nuclear bomb goes off and wipes out all of Gotham City. Batman knows it's too late to save half of the city. He also knows it was his mother, Talia, who was involved in the plans to attack Gotham. Batman, too, was killed or hurt in battle unknown at this time. Batman tells Damian not to be Robin at all, because Batman knew this was going to happen to his son, being Batman. Batman must stop Talia and her army to make sure this does not happen at all. Damian is in the Batcave with Jason Todd, Tim Drake, Dick Grayson, and Alfred, whilst Damian's father goes to see Damian's mother, who now wants her son back. She gives Batman two choices: to save Gotham City or to care for his son. Damian and everyone else can hear her on the radio talking with Batman. Batman fights traps of Talia's plans and saw old church pictures of the name Damian in AD, Anno Domini, and some omens. Batman defeats her traps and plans, and the League of Shadows and another trap came. Everyone hears what's happening, and then the radio goes dead, and Talia tells Batman again to save Gotham City or his son. Batman falls down 20 feet to the ground by Talia's super soldier, the Heretic, and Batman fights him, but it was too late to save him, and the Heretic had captured him as prisoner for Talia. Damian can hear what is happening from his father's radio on the computer. Jason Todd was in the Batcave, and Damian told him to leave and find his father's team, search for him and find out what happened to his mother with her plans. Damian stays in the Batcave, and Alfred gave him some food to eat. Damian gave some of it to his cat and the bats in the Batcave. Damian is still listening to his father's voice on the static radio, and tells a secret story to Alfred about when his mother cast him out of the Al Ghul family, and that she had a sperm egg made. That sperm egg was a replacement son to help her in her plans of attack. He was strong and can shoot lasers out of his eyes, similar to Superman. He was trained by the League of Assassins to kill and have strength to fight off anyone weak. Damian tells Alfred that he was his brother, but he had never met before. Damian told Alfred that he had to stop him, and if not, it will be too late for Batman. Alfred was proud of him, and Damian put his costume on and suit up in the robot Robin outfit. He flies off to help the Bat family find Batman's whereabouts. Arriving at Wayne Enterprises, Damian and Nightwing take out the guards that were there to keep them from entering. The heretic arrives to stop them, and he and Damian fight each other. Damian demands to be taken to see his mother, but the heretic refuses to listen. When the heretic sees that Ellie is holding the trigger for the world bomb, he attempts to take it from her, only to be stopped by Damian. The two fight once more, and Batman arrives to see that Damian had been fatally stabbed through the chest. Batman takes Damian's body away from Wayne Tower, and Batman fights off the clone Damian and blinds him to death, after the battle in a flashback in the story. Bruce Wayne and the Bat family are buried Damian next to Bruce Wayne's parents, Damian's grandparents. Batman will get his fight with Talia, and it was personal, to be a fight going to happen to avenge his and his son Robin's death. During this fight, Talia is killed by Kathy Kane. It is later found out that Raj Al Ghul created more Damian clones and stole Damian's body from his grave for future uses. Bruce Wayne is left in shock to see the grave of Damian empty next to his parents. In Batman and Nightwing, issue 23, we see Batman in a flashback in the events of Batman Incorporated, trying to fight Talia and trying to save his son in a game simulation. He has tried all week and failed in the game. But Nightwing comes to see him and joins him in the game to fight off the heretic and try different ways to kill him after fighting him to the death. Batman saves his son Damian, said his goodbyes to him, and left the game with Nightwing. Alfred tried it. It was sad and hard for him to do the game simulation, and Alfred told Bruce Wayne to turn it off and carry on as Batman and his life to fight crime and remember the good time they had with Damian up until his tragic death. In 2013, a series was released called Damian, Son of Batman. This short series, featuring 4 issues, is about Damian's life with his father as Robin, and some things that are missed, that we never got to see in the old DC Comics era about his future. Damian Wayne is a mixture of things. Rash, arrogant, violent to start off with. He soon comes to learn the true meaning of fighting crime under his father's name. And in the end, Bruce couldn't have been more proud.